Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Laymen Daily Show. Man, I saw a fantastic movie last night, let me tell you. All right. You may have seen from the thumbnail what we may be talking about today. Spider-Man Across the Multiverse was fantastic. Now, I want to talk about that today. I got some other news, reviews, and discussions. I got some videos. I got a very weird video from Pedro Pascal, which I came across I didn't even know existed. Got to put it in the show. Got the AI game today. And of course, we've got the end of the quiz show, the hard version. Okay, so we did the medium version yesterday. We're going to do the hard version of all the video game music that you maybe know. If it's hard, I'm probably going to get them all wrong. Big show, a really big show. Excited, guys, but across the multiverse, holy shit. All right, let's get to it. All this and more after the drop. All right, Grant says showtime. Yes, it certainly is, my friend. And it was showtime last night, let me tell you. I knew it was going to be good. I saw the reviews for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. 97 on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, it has dropped to 95. It has dropped to 95. But look at that audience score. Everyone's loving this, right? I mean, it's just, if you haven't seen it yet, this is not going to be a spoiler review. I'm just going to kind of talk lightly on it and what my overall impressions was. Snipe Cookie says, are you multi-streaming from Twitch? Yes, I am. I'm on Twitch, Kick, Facebook for all the boomers, and YouTube. In the bathroom at work, the real Layman gaming. That's right, man. Me in the flesh. So, look, I'm just going to, again, talk about this movie today, not overly in-depth because I don't want it to be, I don't want to spoil anything. And secondly, because I can't show you the freaking trailer because it'll get not only demonetized, but blocked in all countries. I thought the closest thing we had was, of course, the Spider-Man 2 trailer. So I'm going to play that in the background while I talk about this. Guys, when I walked in, I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't expect it to be this good. I would say that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is legitimately a masterpiece. It's legitimately a masterpiece on so many levels. I mean, I don't even know where to start, but like, firstly, just the way that it presents itself. Like, truly, the way that every single scene feels like it's creatively running on all cylinders. It could be two particular characters having dialogue, and every time the camera is turning back on each character, the background changes. It reflects their emotions. Even him swinging through New York. I mean, it's just the things that they are trying to do here to, like, with the symbolism, with their creativity in the way that they're trying to get a message across, tell you how the story's going in terms of inside Miles' mind. Everything constantly just feels like it's just creatively running on all cylinders. Now, the first one did this too, right? Across the Multiverse, Into the Spider-Verse did this too. Definitely felt like it was playing with how much it can push itself creatively, aesthetically creatively. How much could it give you? But this is like on another level. They've honestly just like 10x'd what the original one was. Especially in the starting 10 minutes, man. The starting 10 minutes just feels like it is just giving you so much visual stimulation. Love that visual stimulation. It's just a great way to start this movie, and it really sets the tone about how creatively ambitious this thing is going to be. Because it really was. It's visually one of the most ambitious animations I've ever seen in my life. It doesn't just give you the story. It doesn't just give you the beats that you need aesthetically. It really just gives you impressionism. It gives you abstract kind of ideas. It also, of course, throws in the comic style, but there's also traditional, like cinematic traditional styles. It just jumps from every corner of the palette. And that way, even if you weren't a Spider-Man fan, even if you were just an animation fan, to go and see this movie purely on the basis of just seeing what, visually they've created here is a must. And I think that this, I don't think I've ever seen a movie that takes so much creative freedom and has so much creative license over, how it wants to present itself. We've seen other animation movies before, but when you're watching them, they usually stick to the same animation style. Now, I know not all of them do that, right? But the vast, vast, vast majority, the first 30 seconds of an animation movie, or an animation show. It sets the tone aesthetically of what you're going to be looking at. This one, no, it changes it all the time. Now, yes, the characters themselves definitely do stay traditional to how they look at the beginning of the film, or when you do start to see them, throughout the film. But the environment around them constantly changes. Constantly changes. And that is one of the things I think stands out the most. I wanted to start with the biggest thing. And I feel like they've just creatively man, it's like dynamite, TNT, man. It's so worth seeing in a cinema based on that alone. But the characters themselves, Miles Morales, a fantastic character. Now, he is a bit bigger. He's physically taller. He's grown a little bit. I think it's about 14 months since the previous one. You can expect there's going to be different themes, but there's very similar themes here for Miles. He's still trying to prove himself. He's still under the control of the parents, and he's trying to figure all that out. He's still, having certain feels for Gwen Stacy. But all in all, it's similar themes here that they're still playing with. But in a way, it doesn't feel so elementary. I feel like the first one, he definitely felt like a kid. Where this one, he's starting to become an adolescent, and there's definitely a tussle between, where he's at and where he wants to go. So those are definitely the themes that I'm seeing from Miles Morales. I think Miles did a fantastic job here. Shay McMoore played the voice of Miles. Haley Steinfeld did Gwen Stacy. Miguel was one of the characters in here, but I won't spoil that too much, from Oscar Isaac, and Jason Schwartzman was the Spot, the villain. They all did a fantastic job. And because the movie itself is like 2 hours and 19, it really takes its time to tell its story. When I first sat down and started watching it, 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in, it's still telling a very foundational story before it starts building on itself. Go in there understanding that it's going to take its time. It's going to retread some ground in telling you who Miles is and who Gwen Stacy is. It's going to talk about Gwen Stacy a bit too. And although she was very much part of the previous film, I did feel like she was a bit more of a love interest in the previous film. Where this one, you can expect her to have a bit more of a pivotal role in storytelling and understanding her background. There's all sorts of stuff in here. But on top of those characters, man, there's a hell of a lot of Spider-Man, or Spider people. There's a lot of Spider people, okay? We knew that there was a hell of a lot of Spider people last time, but this one feels like, again, it's 10x itself. It's like, how much lore can we lean on? There's so many Spider-Man here. I'm sure they're just making the Spider-Man up at this point. It's just so much. And with those new types of Spider-Man, Spider people, you can expect all different art styles to represent them. And on top of that, you can actually go into, you'll find yourself going into certain worlds, even for a quick gag, that has a completely different art style that we all know and love, which I won't spoil, but just expect that, just expect it doesn't just lean on one or two particular art styles or many art styles. Sometimes it'll just dive into a particular world outside of all art styles and just show that for a bit. And I love that, But yeah, there's a hell of a lot of spider people in this. But don't expect it to give you more. Don't expect it to give you more stories in terms of the other Spider people compared to the previous one. I felt like it wanted to show you a lot of worlds of Spider-Man, but I think it was smart in the storytelling wise that it didn't dabble in too many Spider-Man stories. It does go for 2 hours and 19 minutes, but the whole shtick of this is like the multiverse, right? You're going to see a lot of Spider-Man, but to try and tell dozens and dozens of different types of Spider-Man stories, it's just not going to work, So what they've done here, I think, is really good in terms of just telling only 4 or 5 different stories that you follow and you have an emotional connection with. And the rest of them are just very much passes by, showing how they look like, and maybe there's a quick gag, and then it kind of moves on. Now, there is a lot of fan service here, right? But not as much as I would have thought. There was not as much as I would have thought. I feel like the first one was maybe where they wanted to do a lot more fan service, and then in this one, you will see fan service, but don't expect this to just be like a huge amount of just like, Easter eggs of the video game or this or that, or like, jokes that we know on the internet. Although there's definitely a lot of jokes and a lot of stuff and a lot of kind of just things that we know about Spider-Man that you will see through this. But it doesn't try to lean on that so much that it's not trying to make some gimmick of itself. the other thing is, if a movie's going to be 2 hours and 19 minutes long, you want it to be funny. Well, hopefully it's going to be funny, right? You hope it's going to be funny. Well, again, you don't need it to be 2 hours and 19 minutes long and funny. But what I mean is this particular style of movie leans itself to also have a bit of humor, and that is going to make the journey a bit quicker, right? This definitely feels like the humor is on point. It's a very funny movie in certain spots, but it's quick humor. It's like it's quick and then it's in and it's out, and that's it. It's not there to make you laugh a long time. It's there to make you laugh quickly and then move on. So in this regard, this feels like the story itself, in the way that the humor is presented, it really works. But let's actually talk about the story. Talk about the characters aesthetically, and yes, the humor. But the story itself really feels like there's a lot of heart in this, man. There's a lot of heart. There's a lot of good themes here. There's a lot of themes that lean on the whole adolescent thing and love and, what it means to be Spider-Man, what it means to be Spider-Man in the multiverse. It definitely has a lot of themes that it's trying to tackle, and there's a lot of characters that are also trying to figure out their own stories and trying to figure out how to kind of, find solutions to their own problems. So in terms of the story, I do feel like this is also a level up, because there's more on the line now. With this one, there's a lot more on the line. There's a lot more at stake. And for me, that went a long way, to be very invested in this and sit through it and not feel like it was a long movie. It is, I think, one of the longest Spider-Man movie, if not the longest Spider-Man movies we've ever seen. And I think that the main thing that kept me very engaged is, yes, there's a lot more online here, personally for Miles and the other characters too, right? And yes, you can expect in a superhero movie, is the world ending? Like that kind of crap may be there, right? But it's more than that. It's more about the personal high stakes. The personal high stakes of this is definitely something that's feeling like it's a very mature film, but also very accessible to a lot of people. I just don't want to spoil too much in terms of the story, so I'm just trying to pick what to talk about. But I guess the real thing I want to talk about is the themes themselves. They definitely feel like there is a lot more at stake. Definitely feels a little bit more mature. Miles is a little bit older. And all in all, I just think this is one of the most fantastic movies I've seen in terms of an animated film. I will say though, because it's so aesthetically ambitious and creatively ambitious, I'm going to be very surprised if we don't see other animation movies or studios take note of this, because this really, again, is one of those movies that's like, we have no rules here. We can do whatever we want, creatively. We can show you whatever we want because we just can. And what better IP to do that than Spider-Man? There's so many iterations of Spider-Man. There's so many different types of comics, and I won't pretend to know all the comics, right? But I do know that there's a hell of a lot of different types of Spider-Man out there. And I just feel like I'll be very surprised to see other studios not look at this and go, you know what? Maybe we have a lot more creative freedom aesthetically than we thought. We don't need to necessarily stick to the certain rails that we set for ourselves in the first 30 seconds of a movie. So many movies will create a visual style and go, yep, that's our style, stick to it. Where this doesn't do that. And yes, maybe this is unique in the way that it is kind of dabbling in the multiverse, so it can do that. But I think I think that this is a really powerful way of keeping an audience interested and keeping them engaged. So in that regard, I think we're going to see more of this from different IP, because it is just so mind blowing what they've done. But I don't want to talk. I don't want to give you too much in terms of spoilers. But I think the last couple of things I'll say is this better than the first one? I think it is. I think it's fantastic. I think it's 2x'd itself. It's definitely felt like it's grown on all its themes. It's grown on the world, the universe that it's trying to show you. It's grown on the characters. I think it's done a fantastic job in all ways. And also like the energy and the music, like the music they've picked, the vibe of this thing. I mean, it's just so alive with so many great, just so much great energy in this, more than any other Spider-Man movies that we've seen. This really is allowed to just, I don't know, present itself in such a unique awesome way. And the music and the energy and the visuals, it all does it. You know? But I think the very, very last thing I'll say, actually, before we move on to the news, is I feel Spider-Man on all fronts is good. From Andrew Garfield's one, I don't care if you didn't like it. I think it was fine. Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland. I think they're all good Spider-Man. But this is such a niche product that anyone that loves Spider-Man is going to love this. But anyone that doesn't really like superhero movies, this is going to appeal to a younger audience. Maybe they want to bring their kids to something that's an animation. This is a really good way of potentially showing young kids. Although, of course, they know who Spider-Man is. But, you know, this is an avenue to get more and more fans in. And what better way from the way that they've actually made this film. So I think that people that say, I don't like superhero films, you know, but they may like animations, you know, they may like that type, that style, or they want to bring their kids or whatever. This is definitely something to show. So I'll give this 3 out. Okay, so out of 3 ice cream scoops, I'll give this a fucking 3 out of 3 ice cream scoops. Okay, this is a freaking good film. This is one of the best animation films I've ever seen. This continues to grow the world of Spider-Man. It also continues to show the quality of Spider-Man, regardless of who you think is the best Spider-Man. This, as a package of all the different trilogies or different franchises we've seen, this continues to deliver. It's just been an amazing experience. You have to see it. If you're not going to see it, you're a loser. Ah, dear. That's my review, really, guys. I didn't want to make it too long. About 15 minutes. You can digest that, hopefully. It is definitely worth seeing, folks. Definitely worth seeing. Any questions for me? Let me see. Ellis says, hello, all 11 p.m. here waiting for the 12 a.m. Diablo release, and I'm already nodding off. Yes, I get to play in 49 minutes. Exactly right. 49 minutes, then I can play Diablo. Very excited for that. That is going to be very nice. Going to be playing that all weekend, so I won't be doing a review tomorrow. Oh, sorry, I won't be doing a show tomorrow. But definitely going to be playing so much Diablo. It's a joke. I'm going to try and do some sort of impressions by Monday, Tuesday. I don't know if I'm going to get enough time in it. I'll try my best. I just hope that the 70s Japanese Spider-Man shows up. He's my fave. Well, maybe he does. Or maybe he doesn't. Don't want to spoil anything. Sonoda, the legend is back. Hopefully you're talking about me. Am I the legend? Fantastic. Or maybe talking about Spider-Man. Fair enough. Yeah, so guys, go see this movie. And someone says, Richard says, you got to review The Flash soon. I actually had no intention of seeing that, actually. Maybe I should. I know Michael Keaton is in it as Batman. I mean, would we like to see him? Or, what's his name again now? God, who's the one that did the 2004 to 2010 or whatever? What was? Come on, man. Forgetting his name. The other Batman. Jesus. But in other news, folks, okay, guys, what I'm going to show you now is actually Death Stranding, right? It's Death Stranding 2 footage that no one has seen yet, okay? It's incredible that I received this, but I promise you this is real, okay?
This Nepali Sherpa guide is carried.
No, it's not a Nepal. No, that's bullshit. This is Death Stranding 2, guys. This is Death Stranding 2. This isn't a guy from Nepal, a Sherpa, guiding someone home because they're hurt. No. This is Death Stranding 2. But when I first saw this on Twitter, I'm like, holy shit, is that Death Stranding 2? And then someone in the comments was like, Death Stranding 2 is looking really good. But he's actually carrying someone down from the mountain, but I believe they're going to be okay. So hopefully they're all right. But, yeah, I hope that Death Stranding 2 is shown soon. You never know, man. We may see Death Stranding 2 sometime in the Summer Games Fest. And Sony has come out and said that we are expecting to see some more PlayStation stuff at their Summer Games Fest. Maybe they won't be showing their best stuff, but you never know. Maybe they're going to be showing some surprises. Christian Bale. Christian Bale. There we go. Gwen Stacy is still my fave. Well, actually, last thing I'll say is Gwen Stacy really does stand out here as a character that could have her own movie. Like, the way that it's just the way she's written is so good. I would see her doing her own standalone movie in the future. That's how good it was. In other news, Capcom stock at year-long high ahead of Street Fighter 6 launch. Well, that's pretty good. It looks like it's up 51% in a year or something. Is that right? Jesus Christ. I don't know if I'm reading that right. I don't know if I'm reading that correctly. But according to Tokyo Stock Exchange, Capcom stock is currently valued at 5,590 yen, the highest it's been in 52 weeks, just a day before the launch of Street Fighter 6. Look, Street Fighter, Resident Evil, Monster Hunter, the Resident Evil new ones plus the remakes, it's just been strength to strength for Capcom. Maybe that price is going up because they know they want to be bought. Maybe they're just trying to get the biggest price they can. No, it doesn't sound like anyone. It doesn't sound like CD Projekt Red is getting purchased by Sony. Although people thought it was going to happen, I even covered it. I did say rumor in the title. But Capcom is going strength to strength, and I mean that's what it's all about. When you're making really good games, they're getting high scores. People are playing them. People are hyped for them, and the franchises become a robust part of your suite of games. In terms of just you've delivered quality, you continue to deliver quality most of the time. That goes a long way. That goes a long way. And that just builds trust not only in the gamers, but also the investors. A lot of gamer investors, clearly. A lot of gamer investors, okay? Stock trade by day, Ryu by night, okay? Playing a bit of Ken by night. But I thought that was interesting. In other news, God of War art director joins Netflix for AAA product. Ralph Grassetti, the former art director of God of War Team Santa Monica Studios, has today announced he's joining Netflix to help create a new original AAA IP game. I saw this on Twitter and I thought, wow, okay, cool. Look, I mean, obviously he's done fantastic work. Netflix is definitely trying to double down on trying to make some very high quality AAA IP for gaming. Are they going to do it? Maybe. Look, it sounds like they're getting more and more quality talent. I see a world in the future where Netflix, because they have all the money, and they do make high quality shows. There's a lot of good stuff that Netflix has made, so they do have definitely a good creative eye for it. But do they have a good creative eye in terms of gaming? Well, hopefully they're just going to let the people that know how to make games make this stuff, and Netflix is going to stand back and say, you do you. That's what we're hoping. Do I see Netflix competing in the major space in the next 10 or 15 years if they get, 3 or 4 really high-quality AAA games out there? Absolutely. They've got the money. They've got the infrastructure, especially with the streaming. If they can solve the streaming problem for multiple regions that can't really stream games, or if technology catches up and then Netflix can kind of capitalize on that, you better believe Netflix is going to be a really solid contender for being able to provide cloud streaming or high-quality AAA games in the cloud streaming way and competing with Xbox and PlayStation, Again, they've got the money, they've got the track record for most of the Netflix kind of exclusive stuff that they make. Not all of it. Okay, I know not all of it, but there's some good stuff there. Witcher. There is other stuff that I can't think of right now, but I know it's good. Mindhunter was Netflix, wasn't it? All that stuff. So I'm excited to see what they do here, and as more talent jumps on, we very well may see them being a very competitive player in the future. Speaking of competitive player in the future, I don't know about Blizzard, man, because I'm telling you what they're fucking charging people for a piece of armor is ridiculous. Diablo 4 armor prices are so high they rival Modern Warfare 2 and Overwatch 2. Now, apparently, some of it is $28. $28 for a set of armor. Now, mind you, that's in US, it seems, because this is a US website. In Australia, okay, Overwatch sometimes wants to charge you $35 for a skin or $40 for a skin. It's absolutely horrendous. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous. Now, I know it's a free game, Overwatch 2, but you shouldn't be able to charge that. That's just absolutely horrendous. 2 skins, you pretty much pay for a full-price game. $28 seems a bit much, especially when the game is just coming out, man. Just Diablo, chill. You've made your money off me, and you've got me on the deluxe edition or whatever so I could play today in the next hour or so. Allow the dust to settle before you start ripping people off with $28, armor sets. I've just never understood how a game is is going to make so much money at the beginning, right? I'm not saying that cosmetic and live service models shouldn't continue to make money. What I am saying is when you are releasing a game and most people just want to play the base model, for now, the vanilla version, they want to experience that and they've already given you $70 US or whatever. Like, can't we just wait a bit before you start chucking in, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that? Like, 3 months, something like that, 2 months, whatever. Allow the game to settle in. Allow the fan base to enjoy it and feel like they got their money's worth before they start seeing that you're also trying to sell them on this and that and this. It's also bad PR. It's bad marketing. It just looks bad. It ends up having these shit headlines that says Diablo 2 sucks with their monetization. Like, Diablo Immortal was bad enough. Let us just enjoy Diablo 4. And let us just enjoy it before you start selling us more things. Now, I have no doubt that they're going to try and sell us stuff because it is a live service model. More content that's going to be coming out every 3 months. We can expect that we're going to be, sold on something. But it feels a bit early. The game isn't even out. The game isn't even out. And I've already given you my money. So many people have given you their money. People in the chat, I'm sure you've given them your money. Some of them have. Let's just enjoy the game before you start doing that crap. In other news, very important news actually, I saw this and I'm like, what the hell is this? Okay, Pedro Pascal in some sort of ad for something. Now, if you guys haven't seen this, you're going to be blown away by the end of this, okay? What the fuck was he thinking?
Honestly, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, me neither, Pedro. What were you doing?
On the surface, you've got this perfectly normal family. A young girl, her grandmother. This is apple pie America.
When I first heard this story, I was like, there's no way.
Every family has secrets.
It's like everybody is hiding something.
There's no body, no smoking gun, just a lot of knives.
Every house has a story.
I've been on the force 40 years. I've never seen anything like this.
Everything points to Grandma.
After a while, you start to question
I'm like, okay, is this like a new TV series or some shit?
Waiting to be unraveled.
Like, what is this, right?
What is Grandma hiding?
It's almost like some
Oh no.
game.
No. No! It's a mobile game! Dude, it's a fucking mobile game. Nothing wrong with promoting a mobile game. Again, if it's done correctly, if it's monetized correctly or whatever, that's all good. But Pedro Pascal, he's not a YouTuber. He's not like, he's a pretty big deal. What the hell is he doing a mobile game? What is this shit? It's a mobile game, a mystery mansion murder mobile game. Now look, I'm not saying the man can't make his bread. Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he's making plenty of bread already. He doesn't need to be doing this shit. And this is 2023, it says here. God, did he do it this year? When was this? This is 2 months ago. This is already in the thick of HBO's The Last of Us. He got paid alright. He got paid big time for that. I reckon he would have been paid, like 10 million or some shit? God knows how much. For him to sell his soul for that. We love Pedro Pascal. We love everything he does, including this. He did a fantastic job. He was a good actor then. Let's be honest. It looked good. When I watched it, I'm like, all right, I might check that out. And then I realized it was a mobile game. I'm like, I'm not checking that out. No, I'm out, fam. I'm not checking that out. No way. Speaking of checking out, Bobby Kotick says, we did not have a systemic issue with harassment ever, Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick said, but what we did have was a very aggressive labor movement working hard to try and destabilize the company. In a new and frankly embarrassing interview with Variety, Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick says there's actually never been a problem with systemic harassment at the company, and that report of such things were mainly the result of unions trying to cause trouble. Well, they did an internal review, Activision, they couldn't find anything. Isn't that crazy that a company does an internal review and they couldn't find anything? That's so strange. Well, call off the dogs, we don't need the cops. They did an internal review. And it was all good. No. It was all a lie. And then he goes on to say, of course, that this is all just a big hoax to try and help their unionization efforts. Bobby Kotick is the definition of a fat cat. Just a corporate fat cat. You know, making all the money, making sure he can make it all, and doesn't want to unionize, and says that any sort of sexual harassment or any sort of allegations that were at the workplace, it's all lies because the unions, man. Is there a bigger caricature than Bobby Kotick? Truly. I mean, bad press after bad press for Bobby Kotick. I don't think I've ever seen a good job Bobby Kotick article. Legitimately. Can you think of anyone? Can you think of one single article where he's not just being an absolute fat cat? Oh, God. This is not going to go well for him, obviously. People are just going to continue to hate him. But if he's making the money for the shareholders, that's all they give a shit about. I will say it does matter, though, if people like the CEO. I think it does a little bit, right? One thing to make good games, but it's another one like Reggie Fils-Aimé. Like, everyone fucking loved that dude, man. Phil Spencer, he has his problems, all right? We know that. We know he's had an issue trying to battle for his legitimacy to continue to be the CEO of Xbox. But he's a dude. Like, I like Phil Spencer. You know? When he talks, I'm happy to listen. I'm happy to see what he says. If Bobby Kotick talks, I'm like, oh God, my fucking ears, man. What's wrong with me? Oh, I'm dying. You know? That's just my 2 cents. Jim Ryan, kind of like, yeah, you know. Doesn't have much of it. Phil Spencer has a bit more of a personality, you know? He's like a bit of a dude. Like, I kind of have a beer with Phil Spencer. I think he'd be a cool dude. Phil Spencer would have a drink with me. Of course he would. What are you talking about? Of course he would. In other news, the minister seeks to, from the BBC, the minister seeks to understand more about video games. The government wants to find out more about the UK booming video gaming industry, including whether its products harm users for mental health. I mean, boomers, man, they just want to understand what's going on. Oh, what is that little device you're using? It's called a control. Oh, yeah, so what does that little stick do? It lets me move forward. Oh, okay, cool. And what game is this? It's called Fortnite. Fascinating. Is it a calendar game? I don't know what. Look, I mean, if they want to figure out some shit, fair enough, right? They want to understand if it's good for mental health. That is a good thing. But boomers, man, they always want to understand what we're doing. Am I getting into the boomer category? Shit, no, I'm cool. I'm hip. I'm still hip. I think so. But they want to be doing some research into this and seeing how it can be used to also in terms of cognitive health, mental health, all that kind of stuff. They just want to understand. And the ministers are going to be searching to see if they can help. Interesting. I thought I'd throw it in. More for the gag. In other news, guys, bro, I don't know if you guys know this, but Volvi is back. Guys, Volvi is back. Volvi is... Where do I start with Volvi? Devolver Digital is bringing back a mascot that I would say is probably more important than Mario. Maybe more important than Link. Definitely more important than like the Doomslayer or something. His name is Volvi. And if you haven't heard of him, then you're not a gamer.
For an entire generation of gamers, one name ruled the world. A cultural icon of the gaming industry. More influential than any pop star or politician.
Oh, yeah.
Volvi!
He's back!
Devolver Digital's beloved mascot, star of all your favorite Devolver games, spin-offs, and shows, finally steps back into the spotlight. This summer, the return of Volvi!
I'm back, gamers!
He's back, gamers! What do you mean you haven't heard of Volvi? What? What do you mean that they just created him in this very minute of this video? No. Volvi's been around forever. That's impossible that Devolver Digital is on brand saying the return of Volvi when he's never been around before. Absolutely not. Showcase on the June 8th, 3 p.m. Pacific time, which I think is 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So normal time that I would do the show, I think. They're going to be doing their... Devolver Digital is going to be doing their show. Now, Devolver Digital usually just sends you on like a freaking psychedelic trip and then maybe shows you 1 or 2 games. That's kind of what they do. Excited for it, though. Excited for it. You know, who knows what we'll see. just everyone, just maybe I'll have a brownie beforehand, and I'm just like, whoa, Volvy's back, man. It's going to be exciting to see. There's a few things that are going to be happening around that time, as you guys know. I'm going to be covering it all. Okay, there's going to be quite a lot to be covering. So when I do go live, I'll let you know, and we can watch the Xbox showcase together. The 2 hours that they're going to be showing, and it's just 2 hours of sorry. I'm so sorry. We thought this game would be ready. I'm sorry. We thought Redfall would be better. I'm sorry. Starfield, it's not looking good, guys. I'm sorry. Now, jokes. Look, there's a lot of stuff. Obviously, there's got a lot of titles. There's a lot of studios that have been working on some things for a number of years. Xbox has been on a buying spree. They want to buy as much IP as possible to rule the world. Not even to rule the world, just to compete. What do you reckon? Maybe just to compete. That's kind of what their goal is. And it's been going well so far, but maybe this showcase is going to be good. Maybe we're going to see a lot of cool stuff. I don't know, right? It's going to be hard to see. Two Left Thumb says, heard of the Aussie-made plus set Repeller Fella. I have never... What are we talking about? I don't know what that is, but I appreciate the super chat. Thanks so much, man. Thank you so much for the $5 Canadian. The $5 friendly dollars. Canadians, man, why they just like, they leave their doors open and shit? Like, why is that? Australia, pretty friendly, but we don't leave our doors open. Why do Canadians do that? Is that just a harmful stereotype? I think that's a good stereotype. I think people saying that Canadians are really nice, I don't care if you say that's a stereotype. That's a fucking good stereotype. Let me tell you. Aussies have a stereotype, like it's dangerous to be here. We like shrimps on the barbie, which we don't say shrimp. We actually say prawn. Put a prawn on the barbie, mate. Yeah. Anyway. But I digest. Oh well. So in terms of Volby, Devolver Digital announces June showcase with unsettling new mascot. He's not unsettling. Volby's great. Volby's not unsettling. And he's not new. This article is wrong. Okay, he's not new. He's been around for decades. Quite interesting, actually. Final Fantasy 16 PS4 version was originally planned for Square Enix, scrapped since it added extra years in development. So someone asked that question in terms of what the relationship was like with Sony. And Yoshida said, I mean, that's something that's kind of between us and Sony, and it's kind of really difficult to talk about here. What I can say is that while developing, we originally had plans to possibly release the game on PlayStation 4. During development, we realized that that to get it to a level that we were going to be proud of, we needed to at least have 1 or 2 more years in development to do that. Interesting. I mean, look, there's a huge player base. There's like 130 million or something PlayStation 4s flying around. That would have made them a lot of money. Maybe what they can do, of course, is they could always do what Hogwarts is doing. They can just bring it to Switch later. They can bring it to PlayStation 4 later, you know? But to add a couple of years to bring it to another platform, I mean, that's huge, man. Obviously, they just didn't want to wait the time, but they are foregoing the amount of money that they could have made on PlayStation 4, right? PlayStation 4 is still a decent... I mean, of course, it's still a huge market. It's still a huge market for games. And I would anticipate that a lot of third-party studios will continue to try and invest in the PlayStation 4 ecosystem in maybe at least 2 to 3 years, right? We're halfway through the life cycle now of the PlayStation 5. Crazy to think we're already halfway through. What the hell? Crazy. But yeah, so we were potentially going to get a PlayStation 4 version, but we're not. Two Left Thumb says Replica Fella. Is it a Repeller Fella? Is an upcoming indie title that I'd love to see you play. I'm serving as publisher, and you would happily hook you up with a key. That's very nice, man. Sounds good, man. I'll definitely play it. Absolutely. Look, if there's a segment where I can show a game that's going to be, especially if it's, is it an Aussie thing you said? Well, especially if it's an Aussie thing. But hey, man, if there's something that you're working on, or you're affiliated with, and you want to send it through, I'll check it out, man, for sure. Absolutely. Crystallo said he is playing Diablo 4 all weekend. That is true. Anytime before Monday morning, I wouldn't be able to play any other games. Let me tell you now. Chief Beef says, first time catching the live since you came back. Hello, my friend. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love you, appreciate you. Two Left Thumbs. This is just becoming an ad for this game now. Depends on what you're looking for. I can promise there's plenty of action in the game. I'm sure there is, and I'm sure it's great. Send it through, man. I'll check it out. This is just sponsored by Repeller Fella. In other news, this is quite the saucy article from Jason Schreier. Now, it's quite lengthy, right? So what I've done is I found one that was a little bit more short. But Redfall devs reportedly hoped it would be cancelled or rebooted for Microsoft. Now, as we all know, Redfall, huge success. Okay, biggest game of the year, biggest fail of the year. Well, apart from Golem, it's a real competing now. You know, is Starfield going to join the ranks of that? We don't know yet. But Redfall definitely had its issues. When it was released, it was unanimously pretty much downvoted in terms of people not liking it. The review scores were poor. It was a buggy mess. And it called into question for a lot of people the direction of Xbox with Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer went on a certain podcast and talked about Redfall, talked about how it was disappointing for him, and also talked about, you know, the issues that came about in terms of maybe there wasn't enough oversight and they didn't catch the development process in time compared to Starfield, compared to Starfield, where Phil Spencer said that they're earlier in development and they were able to aid in that. So Redfall, since then, there's been an article published talking about it, and it doesn't look good. Now, the long and the short of it is 70% of the staff, actually, between the start of Redfall, between Redfall starting and ending its development, 70% of the actual people that worked on Prey, the game before that, had left the studio. 70%. They had issues trying to get new people in terms of getting talented developers to work on this. Even at the beginning of whatever this concept was, it was murky and it was uncertain. A lot of people working on the title, they just weren't sure what was going on here, you know? And on top of that, once Bethesda was purchased by Xbox, a lot of the development team was kind of hoping that Redfall was going to be cancelled, or at least postponed or something. But because Xbox did take on that hands-off approach, Bethesda, you do you, Redfall continued. It also is worth mentioning that there was going to be microtransactions that was originally planned for the first 3 years of development, which was cut away in 2021, so that didn't end up being in there. But they were looking for something similar to Fallout 76, it seems like, and boy did they deliver. But it also calls into question the future of Arcane Studios now. I don't know. Oh, Arcane Austin. 70% of their workforce has gone. Their talent that people kind of knew and loved for their particular games. I wonder if they have a future. You know, I really do wonder if they have a future. Now, 70% of the workforce had left, and it was quite a short staff that they had. I think there was sometimes it was about 100 devs working on this, where 100 devs isn't a lot on a AAA IP title. You know, so I think that the future of Phil Spencer and also the future of Arcane Austin is called into question. On a side note, I have said a lot about Phil Spencer, and I do hope that Starfield is good. I think Phil Spencer has one shot left in him. I do think that if Starfield kind of sucks, some people are going to be calling for his resignation. I don't know if that's wholly justified, based on the fact that Bethesda is a separate company, and, you know, yes, they've been developing these for a number of years, and Xbox can only do so much. I do feel like Phil Spencer is now, because they've purchased Bethesda, is responsible for those titles. He is responsible to see consecutive wins, if possible, for their first-party exclusive AAA experiences. With PlayStation, as you can see, it's possible. You can bring out banger after banger, or most of the time, really high-quality games that usually land really well with the marketplace, with the consumer base, you know? We're about to see Spider-Man 2. I'm pretty confident that's going to be pretty great. Horizon Forbidden West was fantastic, of course, for the people that played it. I didn't really play it, but I know it reviewed very well. Ragnarok was, of course, fantastic. I only played a little bit of that. I only played like 10 hours. Fuck, I got to play the rest of that. All in all, we're seeing really good, high-quality stuff from PlayStation. And Xbox is lagging behind. They've been lagging behind for several years now. Let's be honest. They've been lagging behind for several years. In other news, it's getting so hot in here. Got to turn this off. There we go. In other news, ladies and gentlemen, The Rock is coming back to the Fast and Furious. but with a spin-off movie. Now, do you guys remember? I'm not going to start doing like celebrity gossip, all right? I don't give a shit. But this is funny because remember when The Rock was like, "Nah, I'm not working with Vin Diesel again. Nah, fuck that shit. I'm out. See you later." And then Vin Diesel put that stupid post up on Instagram or something. "Oh, this is about family. Let's finish the franchise as a family." Trying to get Rock to come back, and Rock was like, "Nah, I'm out. See you, pal." Well, he's back in Pog form. I don't know why, but he's back, and he wants to do another spin-off for his particular character. I wonder if Vin Diesel's going to be in it at all. Maybe The Rock will only agree to allow Vin Diesel to be in it if Rock's character gets to beat the shit out of Vin Diesel's character for 30 minutes. And then Vin's like, "Whoa, I thought we were acting." He's like, "Yeah, I'm acting. I'm a fucking method actor." So apparently, if you do like Fast and Furious, which, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Fast and Furious. I love Fast and Furious. All right, that's going to be making some sort of, return of The Rock. Okay, his arch nemesis in the movie Paper. Nice. In other news, Capcom is asking players about what more Resident Evil games they'd like to be remade, and they're doing an open survey asking it. Well, they're sending it out to certain players. We all know what we want. What do we want, folks? Resident Evil 8 came out the other day. Fuck it. I feel like people want Code Veronica, but I think that it does make sense that they're going to continue this succession here of Resident Evil 5. Now, I don't think people... Okay, yes, some people love Resident Evil 5, but I don't know if that's the first one people are calling out for. They're definitely not sure themselves asking for this survey. I want to see what they do. I thought that Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4, I played and finished all those in terms of the remakes. They were fantastic. I recently reviewed Resident Evil 4, and I thought it was just phenomenal. Phenomenal what they did with that remake. I mean, they kept all the great bits, and they just, the quality of life, the overall graphics, the overall quality of that offering was just fantastic. So to see them continue with that quality, I would love to see it. I'd love to see it. In other news, Sonic co-creator convicted of insider trading faces more than 2 years in prison. He tried to steal the rings. Sonic was too fast. He caught him. Apparently, Yuji Naka has been formally sentenced to prison for insider trading and is expected to serve 2.5 years in jail. Additionally, Naka has received 2 fines. One, $17,800, which is like whatever, and supplementary penalty of $1.2 million. See, and that's what happens. Sonic isn't as popular as it was before. Maybe he wasn't making as much money as he could have off Sonic, and he's like, "Man, I need some cash. What can I do?" And apparently he has stated that he just accidentally saw some important information that was not related to him or something, and he used that information to trade or some kind of nonsense like that. But interesting times, and I thought that was an interesting headline. Right? Are we going to see the creator of Mario insider trading? Oh wait, oh, I don't want to show you that yet, because now, okay, we got the AI game. Now this is an easy AI game today. Let me just set this up. This is an easy AI game. Is this real or is this not? Now this should be pretty easy to see that this is real, or should it be easy to see that it's AI? Let's see. All right, folks. AI, or is this real? What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Real? I think it's real. No, I think it's fake. I think it's fake. I will leave that with you guys for a second. You got to have a think. Is it real or not? Okay. Is it real or is it not? While you're thinking, I will come back to that. In other news, Killers of the Flower Moon is as brutal as they come. It got a 9 out of 10. Holy shit. Can't wait to watch this. Now, I love anything Scorsese does because this is cinema. And especially with an all-star cast, Robert De Niro, Leo DiCaprio, and Martin Scorsese, of course, as the director. I definitely want to see what this is. And I think, is this the first time that Leo has... No, this is not the first time that Leo has worked with Robert De Niro, right? No, they've worked on something else. What was the thing that they worked on? Remember what else he's worked on. But I think if this is the first time they're working together, even more excited. but definitely going to be seeing this. Now, I might do a mini review. I don't think this is a thumbnail review. Or maybe it is. Maybe it's just something I really want to talk about, and I'll actually do a thumbnail review of this. Or maybe I'll just put this in. Vezin says real. Welt says AI. Grant says real. Looking 8 out of 15 guy. Not sure what that means, GT. Adam says AI. Fake. Someone says fake. Okay. Okay, got a couple of reals, couple of zeros. Couple of zeros? A couple of real, couple of fakes. Sorry, I just saw someone say zero. So, you know, sometimes you say something when you're reading it. Anyway. All right. And before I get back to you on that one, Harrison Ford, love Harrison Ford. Someone asked him, Han Solo versus Indiana Jones, who wins? Harrison Ford says, why are you asking me that crap for? I love Harrison Ford because he doesn't give a shit. All right, he just doesn't give a damn. I think we're done with Indy. We're also done with Han Solo, obviously. I feel like it's just time for him to stop trying to play those action roles. If they come out with an Indiana Jones 6, come on. I'll be like, no, we don't want that. Indiana Jones and the challenge of getting up to go to the bathroom. You know, we don't want to say that. We're done with Indiana. Now, it does come out in, I think, July. Oh, no, this month, at the end of this month. Well, I will be reviewing that, and I will be definitely talking about that, because I've seen all the other indies. You know, so let's just see what this one's like, but it hasn't been reviewed very well. All right, was this AI? Was this real? Now, folks, I'm going to give you a little clue before I tell you. Well, actually, if I show you, you can see it. Well, it is fake. He's got 3 fingers. Okay, so whoever made this one is, yeah. Okay, it is fake. It is fake. We tried. Okay, we tried. I love the AI game. I do love the AI game because sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't. I feel like it was a mixture today. Some people thought it was real, some people thought it was AI. That's definitely AI, folks. And to finish off today, guys, I love you, appreciate you being here. This is the video game quiz. Now, it's hard today, okay? Now, I think I'm going to get none of these right. I haven't heard any of the questions apart from the first one. And if you remember yesterday, when I did this yesterday, I got that question wrong. So, okay, here we go. I'm going to play the first question again. The one that we heard yesterday. The one that I thought was Bioshock Infinite, just to give you an understanding how to play the game. They like to roll the dice. By chance they came upon a devil's game. I thought this was Bioshock Infinite. Paid the price. I was wrong. Okay, what's this? Oh my god, I don't... Okay, this is the first no for me. I don't know what it is. This is the first wrong answer. I had no idea. Oh! Oh! Tune. I listen to this all the time. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. New Age of Heroes. Okay, that was easy. I got one right. Easy, easy, easy. Diddy Kong Racing! Oh yeah. These aren't as hard as I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be fucking tough. All right. Oh my god, I got no idea. I've got no idea. Oh, no. Damn it. I don't know what this is, man. Got no idea. Oh, come on, man. That is such an like. I know it's Pac-Man, but like, come on. 3 wrong, 2 right. I have no idea. I'm gonna say Crash Racing. I got no idea. Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Damn it. This feels like Final Fantasy like 8 or 9 music. Like in a little town, like a little cute town, like a Square Enix game. Oh, come on! Oh my god. 5 wrong, 2 right. Jesus. Impossible. Okay. I had no idea what that is. Fat Princess? I wonder if that game would be released today. Okay, no wonder these are impossible. Ugh. I got no idea what these are. Busby. Okay, this is just not working. We've got one more in us. Oh, that's it. Okay. Wow, that was the worst I've ever done. Well, hard impossible. It's not easy to do, folks. Okay, I got 7 wrong and 2 right. The other days I got 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, before it wasn't too bad. But how did everyone go? Be honest with yourselves and be honest with me. How did you go? How did you go? Did you get 2 right and the rest wrong? Because I did. I certainly did. Plus size princess B Vargas. That's what they would call it today. Plus size princess. Absolutely. You know. I got a perfect score. 0 of 10. Come on, you must have got 1. No? Okay. Lol, 0 right. That was a tough one today, wasn't it, second narrator? That was really tough. Yeah, that was tough. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love you. Appreciate you. I will be back tomorrow, maybe. But I probably will be playing Diablo all weekend. So I might be back on Monday to do a little impressions if I've played enough of it. And if not, it will be Tuesday. But I'll be back on Monday if there's some news, reviews, and discussions. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Love you. Appreciate you. I'll see you guys next time. Laymen out.